Prince Philip face a nervous wait at Windsor Castle after Prince Charles today revealed he has tested positive for coronavirus. The Prince of Wales, 71, has a mild form of the illness and is on the Balmoral estate with his wife Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, who has tested negative and is without any symptoms of the virus, which has killed 435 and infected 8,200 more in the UK so far. The Queen and Philip had already travelled to Windsor Castle before the announcement from Clarence House today, after moving to the royal estate last Thursday. A royal source said Charles's doctor's most conservative estimate was that the prince was contagious on March 13 to 24 hours after briefly meeting his 93-year-old mother the Queen. A Buckingham Palace spokesman said, "Her Majesty remains in good health. The Queen is following all the appropriate advice with regard to her welfare." It is not known if the monarch has been tested for coronavirus, but she is said to be on lockdown and not even close family members can see her. Her weekly meeting with the Prime Minister is being done by phone, rather than in person at Buckingham Palace, where a worker tested positive while the Queen was still in residence last week. The monarch and the Duke of Edinburgh, who was helicoptered to Windsor from Sandringham last Thursday, are being looked after by her two favourite staff, who are part of a skeleton team of just 8. The rest of her 100-plus workers have all been told to go home to protect both the head of state and themselves. Charles's coronavirus was confirmed yesterday, exactly a fortnight after meeting Prince Albert of Monaco, who tested positive 5 days ago, after he sat opposite the Prince of Wales at a WaterAid event in London on March 10. A Clarence House spokesman said, "The Prince of Wales has tested positive for coronavirus. He has been displaying mild symptoms but otherwise remains in good health and has been working from home throughout the last few days as usual." The Duchess of Cornwall has also been tested but does not have the virus. In accordance with government and medical advice, the Prince and the Duchess are now self-isolating at home in Scotland. The tests were carried out by the NHS in Aberdeenshire where they met the criteria required for testing. NHS Scotland has said the heir to the throne qualified because of his age and his symptoms. Charles's spokesman said it was impossible to say where he caught it from because of the large number of public engagements he has carried out in recent weeks, but it will raise questions over whether it came from Prince Albert and if the heir to the throne has spread it himself, including to relatives. As coronavirus reached the royal family on the second day of Britain's lockdown, it has also emerged. Charles is said to be happy and calm despite his diagnosis. A royal source told People magazine of Charles and Camilla, both of them remain in good spirits. "There is a sense of keeping calm and carrying on. The Duchess is concerned for him, but she is aware of his own good spirits and therefore is keeping a close eye on him and mindful of her own situation. She is upbeat." Mail Online has also plotted the Prince's movements over the past 16 days and he attended at least 6 public engagements meeting hundreds of people. These included a string of Britain's biggest stars at his annual Prince's Trust Awards at the Royal Albert Hall 2 weeks ago, the start of the coronavirus 14-day incubation period. The Prince of Wales was last at Buckingham Palace on March 12 to carry out investiture on behalf of the Queen, who he also briefly met. His coronavirus diagnosis will raise fears for the health of elderly royals including his mother and Prince Philip, 98, who are together at Windsor Castle, especially because of the high death rate among the elderly. Charles is understood not to have seen his father for many weeks, possibly during the Megxi crisis talks at Sandringham, where his 98-year-old father was based until he flew by helicopter to Windsor last Thursday. William and Kate are at Anmer Hall in Norfolk, while Harry and Meghan are back in Canada, after both couples saw Charles at the Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey on March 9. At the service no members of the royal family shook hands, with the Prince greeting people with namastes and the Duke of Sussex elbow bumping Craig David. 2 days later on March 11 he also met with a string of celebrities at the Prince's Trust Awards 2020 in London, attended by Ant and Dec, Philip Schofield, Fern Cotton, Pierce Brosnan, Richard E. Grant, Rolling Stones star Ronnie Wood, X Factor star Fleur East, Dina Asher Smith and Craig David. Arriving at the Prince's Trust Awards a fortnight ago, Charles twice extended his hand to greet people before withdrawing it at the last minute in mock horror and greeting them with a bow and the Hindi greeting Namaste.